everybody. Welcome to the YouTube channel again. Thanks for tuning in today. Today we're talking protein. All right. This is my recommendation for how much protein you should be taking in daily and why. Okay. So what I recommend to people, especially if you're looking to maintain some muscle mass and a good healthy body weight, I'm always saying aim high, right? So for our proteins, we're going to want to get at least 0.8 to 1 gram per pound, right? So basically all you got to do is take your weight. If you're a 200-pound person, you're going to want to get about 200 grams of protein per day, right? If you're a smaller person, I recommend maybe a little bit less, just because, in terms of the amount of food you're going to be taking in a day, it might be a little bit less than a larger person. So at that point, you can maybe drop down to that 0.8 grams per pound area, just to make it easier on you calorie wise daily, right? So why, right? Why are we wanting to consume a high protein diet? So there's a lot of different reasons, right? Number one, most important thing is it's the foundation of your entire being, right? So literally, like, starting at your DNA, it's made of proteins, all right? And then your entire body is made of proteins from there. Your cells, your muscles, your bones, your skin, everything is based off of proteins, right? So we do not want to get into that gray area where we're not taking in enough proteins, because what that causes, it causes protein breakdown, right? So your body will actually start to get into a negative nitrogen balance, meaning it doesn't have enough proteins to build itself back up. Then we start running into issues of the body starting to break itself down, which is exactly the opposite of what we want, right? So that is the absolute number one most important thing to understand, is that our body is literally made of proteins, right, from our DNA all the way up, right, up to your hair on top of your head. So just that's a huge reason why to get enough, right? So again, if you are an active person, right, or even if you're an older individual, right, this is huge for older people, because you start to get into muscle wasting and some muscle breakdown as you age, right? Also, if you're a very active person looking to build muscle, right, you're going to want to provide your body enough protein to rebuild itself. So that is huge. Again, promote recovery from daily living, right? So what daily living does is it stresses the system, right? Whether that is, you're walking a lot, you're gardening, you're lifting a lot of weights, even just basic, little things, they all stress the body, and they all need recovery, right? So your body's going to want to recover from that. So we got to make sure we're putting enough proteins in the body to make sure we can recover from whatever the stress is that we're putting on ourselves each day. It is also super important if you have sustained some kind of an injury, or you have some soreness going on, right? So if especially like any kind of tissue damage or anything like that, obviously your body needs added protein to recover itself. If you go through a surgery, or you hurt yourself, you cut your arm, you cut your leg, whatever, your body's going to need extra proteins in order to repair that faster. So the more protein we can get from a recovery standpoint is going to be better just for your body. You recover quicker, feel better faster. So my top choices for my favorite proteins, right? Obviously, we're always going to want to go with lean sources, meaning that they have less fat, right? Higher protein content, less fat content, especially when we're getting into meats. So I would always just say opt for lean meat and poultry, right? So I'm not a hater of red meat, but I do think that we want to aim for the leanest sources we can find. So I do a lot of like 96.4 ground beef, things like that. There's some great vitamins and minerals in beef, and it's a great protein option. But I do like to make sure I'm being mindful of how much saturated fat I'm taking in. So I may only eat that, once or twice a week. Obviously, things like chicken and turkey and things like that are great lean sources of protein. Fish is another one. It's awesome. That's going to be a little bit fattier, but those are really good, healthy omega-3 fats that we want in our body. And then we have eggs, egg whites, right? I'm always going to say go for the egg yolks, right? So what I do is, obviously I don't want to eat too many eggs because, you know, calorie content and fat content and all that. But there is a ton of good vital nutrients in that yolk. And there's also half of the protein in an egg is actually in the yolk, believe it or not. People don't know that. So I do a little bit of a mixture of, I'll do 2 to 3 eggs a day and then mix some egg whites in there. And then I get everything I'm trying to get nutritionally from those eggs and a little bit of extra protein from the egg whites, because the egg whites are purely protein. Greek yogurt is a great source if you're into dairy. You know, you want to look for something that's lowest in sugar, right? So try to avoid like the fruit flavored ones and things like that, or ones with added sugar. Cottage cheese is another awesome one. It's like 28 grams of protein or something per cup of cottage cheese, so that's a great option for people. And then we also have a whey protein, right? So whey protein is a dairy-based protein. You know, usually about 25 grams a scoop with only maybe about 120 calories, which is a good ratio, right? That means it's pretty much all protein you're getting in there, which is great. And then in the green here, we have our vegetable sources, right? So our vegetarian or vegan sources of protein. If you do follow one of those diets, it's super important to know that these proteins are not complete proteins, okay? So meaning they do not have all of the amino acids that make up a protein. So you need to pair them with each other, okay? Because as long as you pair them, you're going to get that full amino acid structure and your body can still complete these proteins, right? So it's super important. Quinoa being the best one. It is the only complete plant-based source of protein you're going to get. So it does contain all the amino acids, which is great. So if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, including some quinoa in your daily routine will make sure you're getting all the amino acids you need to make use of all the proteins you're eating, right? Beans, lentils are a great one. Anything soy-based, soy is pretty close to complete as well. So those are all great sources. I mean, obviously you can get into if you're interested in doing like the Beyond Meat and, you know, all those like Tofurky products and things like that. But these are, you know, good whole food based sources. So quinoa, beans, lentils, soy, and then obviously a plant-based protein is going to have all the amino acids you need. That's going to be a really great source for you. So hopefully this taught you a little bit about proteins today and why it's so important that you take it in. So whether you're you know, fitness junkie, you're trying to get as jacked as you possibly can, or you're just aging and trying not to lose muscle mass and bone density and stuff over time, obviously these are all super important. You know, doesn't matter what stage of life you're at. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Feel free to comment below. I'm happy to answer any questions or anything you guys have, and wishing everybody a good day.